Shalom, giving honor and praise unto Yah, the creator and the maker of heaven and earth. Call this one here a presentation. I want to go into this book that you might have seen in the first 20 or so seconds. It's entitled 100 Amazing Facts About the Negro with Complete Proof. Now, I had this particular book here since 1995. Blessed be the Father, when the brother was really studying. Page 14, we read the following under number 30. It says, the characters of the Bible are largely Negroes. The Jews were slaves to the Egyptians for nearly 430 years. Number 31. The Falashas, or Negro Jews of Ethiopia, led by Queen Judith, put the line of Solomon and the Queen of Sheba off the throne of Ethiopia in 937 AD and ruled for 40 years. One of the things to be pointed out, emphatically, it distinctly says it right there that the characters of the Bible are largely Negroes. That's on page 14 of that book. On page 33, under 30, under the issue of with the proof aspect, we read, Tacitus says, many again say that they, the Jews, were a race of Ethiopian origin. F. Ratu says the entire Semitic and Hamitic population of Africa was a mulatto character which extends to the Semites outside of Africa. In part 30 also it says this concerning Abraham. Abraham came from Ur of the Chaldees. Genesis chapter 11 verse 31. Godfrey Higgins, a careful and reliable English antiquary, meaning a historian, says the Chaldees were originally Negroes. Anacalypsis volume 2. On 31 of the proof part, we read, Fishberg says of the Falasha Jews, they are of the Negro type. The large lips, their prognathism, and frizzy hair all point to the Negro origin. I have seen the Falashas in Abyssinia, in the Negro Jews in Egypt and the Sudan. West Africa has black Jews also. Whilst in Ethiopia, I visited the Falasha school, established by Dr. Feitlovich. The boys were all jet black with woolly hair. So, that right there is from this book here, 100 Amazing Facts About the Negro with Complete Proof by J.A. Rogers. Then we have this book here, The Destruction of Black Civilization by Chancellor Williams. Page 337 of this book. Let's see what we read. It says, the Hebrews and the Arabs are both white Semitic peoples, and no number of offspring by non-Hebrews and non-Arabs or adherents to either religion will either change this fact. After all those centuries of racial mixing, there was nothing unusual about the appearance of great colored leaders in Palestine or anywhere else in Asia, including from time to time the rise to kingship in Israel, Syria, Aram, Mesopotamia, etc. But the white Jews, parentheses Hebrews, and the white Arabs remain exactly what they always were, white. And this is why, and who pretends not to know it, that there is a racial crisis today in Israel between the ruling white Jews and the colored Jews who have migrated there from the above-mentioned lands. Now, this right here is from Chancellor Williams. But the white Jews, Hebrews, and white Arabs remain exactly what they always were, white. Now, when we get back into J.A. Rogers' book, 100 Amazing Facts About the Negro, we read on page 14, so that way we can gain some understanding concerning this matter. The characters of the Bible are largely Negroes. Would not the Jews be part of the characters of the Bible, or the people in the Bible are largely Negroes? Who does the Bible primarily speak of as people? The people we will call Jews, or the tribe of Judah, part of the nation of Israel. So you got this book by Chancellor Williams saying Destruction of Black Civilization on page 337. And we read that. Then you got 100 amazing facts about the Negro with complete proof. So at this point, conscious community, brothers, sisters, it's up to you what you choose to do at this point. Understand? Because obviously people such as Chancellor Williams and others who teach that the Jews of old were white people, obviously they work for the white Jews themselves. And so some people say, well, you know, he only had the information that was assessed to him at the time. But Chancellor Williams lived in the 20th century. That book that J.A. Rogers quoted, Godfrey Higgins, was written in the 19th century. So if Chancellor Williams was a professor or a teacher or so forth and so on, I'm quite certain, not that I know the man or knew the man personally, but I'm quite certain that he probably would have heard of Godfrey Higgins and the claim that Godfrey Higgins made, such as the Jews or the Chaldeans of old being black. And I could put $1 on it that Chancellor Williams certainly heard about J.A. Rogers. And J.A. Rogers quoted someone else. So at this point, you can choose what you want. You can keep on debating if you want. You can keep on using these so-called professors, so-called scholars, so-called leaders who are paid by the establishment. Just like when you're dealing with any other job. Well, my boss says it, so you know, I don't really feel it, but you know, I'm going to do what I got to do to eat. And that's exactly what drug dealers do to their own black people. That's exactly what this man has done to his own black people. You understand? Because you went against every other black scholar that ever existed. You understand? I mean, we can even quote, may he rest in peace, Dr. Clark, and he's speaking about the people of old in the biblical times. Though he didn't believe in the Bible, he was stating that if they were around, that they would have certainly been a people of color. You understand? So that right there just goes to show you that something is wrong. Another great leader like Marcus Garvey, who spoke about the issue of the people of the Bible, would have certainly been black. You understand? A lot of these people who promote the ideas that like Chancellor Williams have, and others, they, no offense intended, have yet to make a stalking presence toward our people. In a good light, that is. You understand? Some of the greatest leaders of all that time has sat there and spoke about the people being of color in the biblical world. So so-called scholars like Chancellor Williams and the so-called conscious community of today, they are paid by the European white Jew. And they're going to do the work of their master very well and publish books and get notoriety and get money. But in the end, as it says in the scriptures, in the time of their visitation, they shall perish. You understand? Because you taught the people to believe in falsehood. You taught the people to believe in a lie. You understand? You rather sit there and teach that either the people in the scriptures did not exist, or if they did exist, that they were white. You understand? Regardless of the fact that you have evidence upon evidence upon evidence upon evidence that the people in that time were people of color. In that book by Chancellor Williams, he mentioned the people of Aram, right?